Good morning from Budleigh Salterton. This is the start of the 2025 Solomon Trophy between Great Britain and the USA. We're going to be focusing on Lawn 7 this morning, where we have the number 1 American pair of Matthew Essick and Zach Watson against the number 2 Great Britain pair, Jack Good and Stephen Mulliner. So I think most people will know Matthew. Twice runner-up, I think, in World Championships. Very, very strong player. GC World Champion. Most people won't have seen Zach as much, but Zach's a really strong player. Very solid break player, very good shot, perfect complement from a doubles perspective to Matthew. Can do all the easy things very, very well and hit in a bit. The English stroke British pair, Stephen Mulliner and Jack Good. Stephen been around for ages, 2016 World Champion, and Jack playing in his first major AC team event. So he'll have played some home internationals, probably better known to most people as a GC player, won all the events at the end of last season. Gave Robert Fulford a really good match, first round of the knockout in the Open Championship this year on a tricky lawn. It's the first time he'd played in very difficult conditions. So very promising player, Jack. Incredibly good shot. So we've had 2 days of GC here and it's been lovely conditions. You'll be able to see green areas on the lawn and brown areas. And for the past couple of days, those brown areas have been quite challenging. The ball's been rolling on. The bad news is we've had reasonably heavy overnight rain and it's taken all the pace out of the brown areas. So I'm anticipating very few errors, lots of peeling and some quite fast matches despite the fact it's doubles, which is generally a bit slower. The format of the event is 21 best of 3 matches, and we have all play all doubles, so that's 9 doubles, and then we get the 1s plays 2 and the 1v1, 3 play 4, 3 plays 3, so we get 12 singles. So best of 21, and the current holders of this event are the USA. We've been playing this event since the mid-80s, and it started off with Great Britain winning 21-0 and 21 and 19-2, and then about a decade ago America got their first win and they've won several more since. So these teams are very evenly matched. The big difference here is the Americans are almost full strength. So certainly 5 of their players are likely to be in the Robertson Shield next July and August. It's going to be held in England. From the Great Britain perspective, Samir Patel, the great GB captain, is the only one sort of definitely going to be selected. All the others are sort of vying for places. We've probably got another 4 players who are likely to get in the team, so it's probably an A/B team. Time off work being a big issue. We've got a World Championship over in Florida in October, so people saving up their leave so they can go over there to play in that. So the Americans probably start the event as favourites. Be very interesting to see how some of the lesser experienced players get on. We've got some experience there with Debbie Lyons. Debbie played in the winning 1996 GB MAC team. So she's got lots of experience. Gabrielle Higgins, not quite as much experience, played in the last Solomon Trophy. Been struggling a little bit for form this year. So it'll be interesting to see how she gets on. And the players get 10 minutes warm-up before they start, and they'll use that to do a range of things: practicing shooting, practicing getting the pace of the lawn, maybe trying out the odd boundary shot, knowing what the hills are doing, and maybe playing some rolls out of corner 2. So everyone's got a different preferred method of what they do during these 10 minutes. I like making sure I spend a good minute approaching hoop 1 I do a lot of approaching from 2 to 3 yards to the side, and then I tend to approach from 4 or 5 yards dead straight as well. Always trying to get a forward rush out of the hoop. Hoops are in fresh hoop holes today after 2 days of GC, where they tend to get hit quite hard, and they're nice and firm in the ground. The ground is still reasonably firm, but I say the overnight rain will have taken the edge off. The hoops come out at night, so those empty hoop holes will have had a bit of water down them, so they won't be quite as difficult as they were yesterday, despite the new hoop holes. Looking forward again to next year, the McRobertson Shield will be the last one held with this type of best of 21 format. They're going to move to a much shorter format after that and reduce the length of the event, which is becoming more difficult for these working players to take the time off. So this is next year will be the last time you get everyone play everyone else best of 3, and it's going to be a fantastic event. All 4 teams, New Zealand, Australia, USA and Great Britain, are really well matched, and any of the 4 could win the event. The Americans have never come in the top 2 before, and I think that's going to be something they'll be expecting to improve upon. The New Zealanders have got 5 players in the top 20 in the world. That's a strong team. Great Britain are holders, and perhaps most importantly, compared to last time it was held in Australia, we're going to get Robert Fulford back. So really good to get the world champion, or current world champion, back playing number 1 in your team. Really helps the whole team in every position. Stephen trying to take Matthew's legs out there. So I think they'll be finishing their warm-up now. As soon as they've tossed and we know what colours we're going to be playing, we'll get a graphic up on the screen showing which player's playing which ball. Stephen about to toss. So all these matches best of 3, and it's just normal advanced. There won't be any super advanced played. This is how we play in the MAC. Just standard advanced play, so you'll anticipate balls probably going to 4 back, maybe occasionally going to 3 back to stop a TPO, but in doubles I expect them to go to 4 back and just make a good leave. And one of the interesting things is who's going to be shooting in this Mulliner-Good partnership. Generally Stephen likes to be the shot, but here I would say Jack's clearly a better shot, so it'll be interesting to see how they work as a partnership. So the Americans playing black and blue, and looks like Matthew's going to play first with the blue. I don't know what they're checking on. No time limits for these games. They've got as long as they want. We're trying to fit 5 matches or 5 rounds into 4 days. So at the end of these doubles matches, we'll be starting to play whatever singles are available, and try and get that first round of singles played over the end of day 1 and the end of day 2. So over the last 2 days we've just got 1 doubles and 1 singles round to play. So that's going to be the difficulty in terms of getting things finished. But with that overnight rain, I can't see the players struggling on these lawns. They're really very easy at the moment. I'll just pop out there, see what they're worrying about. Right, I just had a quick word with them, and they were asking about whether they could play alternate stroke doubles, and there's nothing in the regulations to say that they can. So this is standard McRobertson Shield format. One player plays one ball. And the good things about that are, as Matt plays his first ball, and they're immediately going aggressive. That's quite a wide super shot ball from Matt. I know he rates his partner Zach very highly, and he thinks Zach's a fantastic shot, and he's just going to say, I think Zach's going to hit in and go around third turn. In case we end up ever focusing on Jack, he's just recovering from a nosebleed, so that's why he's got a little bit of paper up his nose, so hopefully that's not going to affect how he plays. So looks like Stephen is going to play the first ball, so that's the correct option for them. It's two standard responses to a super shot there. One is just south of corner 2, 3 or 4 inches, and the other one is on the maximum distance spot on the east boundary, so that's about 2 yards south of the peg. With a wide super shot like that, you can justify just shooting at it from the end of A bulk, because you're going to miss to quite close to corner 2. So they've gone down to corner 4 to look at if they go just north of corner 4, is hoop 4 in the way of the roll? And it isn't, and hoop 5 doesn't look too much in play either. So it looks like they're going to go to corner 2. Again, just aim fractionally south of the corner, the idea being that if black misses Stephen's ball, yellow, it'll leave a double target. So important not to hit this into the corner. Let's see where he puts this back on. Certainly that looks good. That's a pretty good place to get to. And Zach will shoot at that. And if he hits, he'll try and go round. As a rule, I don't like playing aggressive openings on day one of a test match. I think you can start more slowly. Particularly give someone like Jack, who's playing in his first major AC event, the opportunity to be a bit nervous to start with. Here, if Zach were to miss, Jack's going to probably have a lovely double with a ball near hoop 1. Anyway, Zach is really good at this. He was telling me yesterday he ran 85% of his hoops from the boundary during a tournament they held in America, and I haven't known anyone with that higher percentage. So I think he looks at these 13-yarders as almost unmissable. So two options now. You either try and roll yellow to hit hoop 2, going to blue, or you roll yellow to north of hoop 1, trying to go to blue. He's going for the old-fashioned method of trying to guess the amount of pull. So we'll be aiming this left of the hoop, hoping it pulls in and hits the near wire and stays near hoop 2, but all the focus is on his own ball getting a rush on blue to hoop 1. Very still today, overcast at the moment. Hasn't got the hitting hoop 2, so yellow's gone to the eastern side of the lawn. Black is, again, probably 3 yards short. It's got a rush that he can take to hoop 1, but lots of people at home will be looking at this going, oh, I can miss this. I don't think Zach will miss it. Can he hit it on the left-hand side? No, got the side wrong. So he's going to be under pressure now. This is quite a long hoop approach. He's going to want blue on the right-hand side of hoop 1, probably about 6 yards past it. So if he runs the hoop, he can rush it towards yellow. There's another alternative that you can send blue 18, 19 yards in lawn, so that if you don't get in front of the hoop, you can just retire to it and hope that red misses yellow. This looks like a more aggressive, not sending blue as far. It's a good shot. It's a very good shot. You just want to visualise black going through the hoop with good speed and getting a rush on blue. It's a good hoop, but he's hit it a bit too hard there, really. This is he's got choices of 9-yarders. Both missed to very near bulk. So just a little bit nervy, maybe. Gave it an extra 20 or 30%. He didn't need to. In the middle. So he needs a roll now, sending blue up to hoop 3. Probably send it positively to hoop 3. You want it a little bit on the western side, so it's easy to get to from hoop 2. But again, your focus is getting a rush on yellow. And for Zach, that's probably going to mean a 3-yarder on yellow. I know most of us might try and get a 4 or 5 foot rush, but Zach's single ball stroke's very, very strong. Just wants to make sure he's on the right side of yellow and then let his shooting do the rest of it. I like this technique. That top hand's gone almost over a third of the way down the mallet. The distance between the hands isn't too great. Lots of people have the left hand too near the top, I think, here. That looks like a good shot. Really good black. That's pointing directly at hoop 2, and blue's adequate there. Yes, tonk this in the middle 7 yards and he should be away. Yeah, good shot. So yeah, still quite overcast. We might get a few showers later on in the day, but we don't have the wind that we had occasionally during the GC. So it is really quite easy playing conditions. Again, he'll be happy with that. The Americans tend to run their hoops from longer than we do, and are just happy to get a straight hoop. So good start, very impressive to just walk on and pick up a break third turn. I think the English pair the GB pair did the right choice of making it as defensive as they can for him and going to corner 2. Gave him more work to do, but he's coped very well with that. So we've got 2 more doubles matches on lawns 5 and 6. From a GB point of view, Samir Patel partnering Debbie Lines, and a more of a sort of standard partnership. They've played together quite a bit. Harry Fisher and Gabrielle Higgins. So Samir and Debbie playing Tom Balding and Carl Maloof, and Harry and Gabrielle playing Stephen Morgan and Stuart Lawrence. Yeah, really good black there. Got a lovely rush to hoop 3. And yellow just pulled up a wee bit short, but short's better than long when you're playing a 3-ball break. Keep the balls inside the rectangle. Wants to rush this past the hoop so he can get a rush back down the lawn to yellow. It's very good. So this is very much under control now. Aggressive start, paying dividends for the Americans. This is their number 1 pair. See if he's got the confidence now just to run this and get a forward rush. Again, overhit it. It's showing a little bit of nervousness. He's not completely comfortable with the hoops in his swing yet. Again, it means he's got to play another big roll. And yesterday, that area around hoop 4 was really quite quick. But you can see the green in most of the middle areas, really quite easy to get your ball to stop on. Yeah, really good blue, bounces off the hoop, and he's got a perfect black. And this is the standard of play that you can expect from the top guys next year for the Not Robertson Shield. 4 really, really good teams. If you think about New Zealand, Paddy Chapman, Logan McCorkindale, Australia, Robert Fletcher, and then really a choice of multiple people for number 2. Ed Wilson's very strong, Fletcher's very strong. Great Britain, you're probably looking at Fulford and Birch at 1 and 2. And America, I think we'll see these 2, well, probably, definitely Matt will be 1, I think. I think Tom may play number 2 and Zach at 3. Tom's been really, really good for the last year. In fact, 2 since that World Championship that Fulford won. Tom's really been in great nick. So 3 fantastic players at the top for America. Good black again. Yellow's not only short, but it's on the wrong side. You'd always prefer it fractionally on the west to the east. And what I'm looking for here now is once the break's established, can the players approach a hoop from where Zach is and get a rush out of it? If you watch Bamford and Fulford play, they'll be getting rushes out of all these hoops. They won't have to play a big croquet stroke. And they'll approach it much closer than he's done there. He's still got blue far enough forward to get a forward rush. But again, hasn't been confident enough to run it short. Now your 1-back pioneer here, it's really important it's short rather than long. You want to have room to put a 2-back pioneer out going to your 1-back pioneer. And if you put it a yard straight in front of the hoop, that means you need to rush out of hoop 6 north. So I'd rather have it 2 to 3 yards south, particularly given he's shown no likelihood of getting rushes out of his first 5 hoops. Lovely old Budleigh clubhouse in the background there. Really nice location. You can see the sea from lawns 10 and 11. Oh, sorry, 11. Yeah, 11 and 3. And all the lawns sort of different levels, having to walk down to 9 and 10 in the background. 6 is behind the hedge you're looking at now. So really quite a nice club with lots of character. So he's got blue in a pretty good position there. He'll still want to either send yellow quite deep here or get a rush on it. He's played a big stop shot there, got it well north. And this is a much tighter position than he's had at the other hoops. Still not confident of running it gently. Fascinating. But he's got enough room to tap yellow and play a stop shot. And the rushes become more important when you're on a peeling turn. Always decide now. For anyone watching at home, don't do what he's just done. Never send out your Pioneer with a rush, because you don't know what direction it's going to go in. And you've just seen there he hasn't quite hit it in the right direction, which means that first of all the direction's wrong, which he can adjust with the takeoff, but the pace is also wrong, and now he can't get yellow within 3 yards of 2-back. So he should have just tapped yellow, played a stop shot down there, guaranteed the line it was going down, and held black for blue. So, if blue had been in front of 1-back and he didn't have any room at all, then you might have to rush it down. But I thought he had enough room just to tap and play a stop shot there. And the more difficult a lawn you play on, the more you get penalised for these imperfections in your break. Now again, it would be very useful to get a rush here to this poor 2-back Pioneer. Got lots of room to get blue well forward, give black a nice short straight hoop. Now, see, to me that is oodles of room. You should never run past blue here. And yet again he has. So we are probably going to see Zach put a clip on 4-back at the end of the turn. And it's been good in terms of single ball strokes, but it hasn't been tidy enough for me. And certainly at the Robertson, where we're going to be trying to get the hoops very firm and the lawns fast, these, I'm going to call it sloppy breaks, are going to get penalised more. All well and good running your first couple of hoops hard and picking up the break, but once you've got it under control, which he really had by hoop 3, he should have been forward rushes and everything just stop shots and drives from then on. He's gone overhit that one. Now, yesterday, approaching the hoop from here would have been difficult. You've got a green patch to go over, and then it gets on the brown patch and it starts running away from you. I don't think there's going to be that level of difficulty today with the rain overnight. But I'd be really unhappy about one of my players being in this position, having had full control. Down a good line. It's a very good shot. And here I'm happy for him to run it off the boundary if he wants to. So now the question is, what leave is he going to make? The most aggressive leave you can make, and Zach's just pointing up there, is to make what's called a 3 ducks leave, where all the 3 balls are at level with hoop 6 on the west side of the lawn, all about 3 or 4 feet apart, pointing at the peg. So the opponent's got a range of 17 yarders from B bulk or 21 yarders from A bulk. Now that's the most aggressive thing you can do. You can also make a defensive diagonal spread where you leave yourself, or in this case blue, a rush on yellow from level with hoop 6 on the eastern side, and you can put your own ball, the black, off the boundary on the western side. And that's quite a good leave, because if the opponent's hit from B bulk, they might rush the ball down further south and might struggle to get a rush to that defensive ball on the boundary. So if you're a really strong player, that's probably your best option. Another option that I've seen Robbie Fletcher play is to leave one of the balls in NSL position, northeast of hoop 4, and join up ideally blue and yellow on the eastern side. So it's your own ball that you end up putting at hoop 4, so the black. Means you can rush partner to hoop 1 and it sets up for the triple better, because your peelie goes straight to hoop 3. So the fact he's put yellow over this side suggests it's not going to be a 3 duck sleeve. Again, just gave that a little bit more oomph. You're going to tap blue and then he's going to have to croquet blue to the boundary now. So there's no guarantee he's actually going to get it off the lawn. So it's just all a little bit untidy in my mind. I always like trying to put blue in a position where it's wide from the end of a bulk. Just forces your opponent to maybe shoot at the in-lawn ball, where they can get unlucky and hit it on the right hand side and have a difficult takeoff back, or move a yard further back and just have a 1 yard longer shot. But you do want blue on the boundary. That's not made it to the boundary. So now he'll leave blue a rush on yellow. Matt's just going to point out his spot with his left foot. And the last shot of the turn, generally, for a player of Matt's capabilities, black needs to be off the lawn. Make it more difficult for your opponent if they hit in. I prefer my rushes a bit shorter than Matt's indicating, but he's completely happy with that length of rush. Yeah, that would be much longer. I'd be at least 6 inches closer to blue if I was leaving a rush. But this is why it's so important to communicate with your partner. That's the length of rush Matt wanted. He's just given him a spot, and I assume this is going to be hammered off the lawn. Yep. So that's a defensive diagonal spread. Very good turn. Not as tidy as I wanted, particularly over those last 5 hoops. But he'd have taken it at the start of the turn. Third turn to ball 4 back in a test match. Very, very strong. So jack to play. The shot from A bulk is probably 4 yards shorter. But he's going to go and take it from B bulk. So to me, this is a win for the Americans. They've gotten their opponents to take a long lift shot, and if they hit it, they've defensified the position, so it's possible Jack doesn't get a good rush over to the black ball. I think I'd have played red at blue from A bulk. If you hit that, you're in an easy position to get a rush on yellow to black. If he ends up hitting, looks like he's shooting at yellow for some reason. Here, if you hit yellow on the left-hand side, getting a rush on blue is really difficult. And to me, Jack's sufficiently good a shot to shoot from A bulk. Blue, remember, isn't on the boundary, so he's got an extra foot of room to work with. And the negative thing about having Jack as the shooter is if the opponents do go around third turn, Jack might hit, but he's much less likely to do a TPO than Stephen is. They're in the middle. So interesting how wide an angle he shot at there. If he missed by 2 balls on the left, he was only going off about 3 yards south of it. And now we'll see, having hit it in the middle down towards corner 4, can he play the touch takeoff to get a good rush on yellow? And ideally you want it to black rather than hoop 1. But if he overhits it, hoop 1 is a sort of fallback position. And the other question is, is he going to play a takeoff, or is he going to send blue out into the lawn? You can justify sending this up to hoop 3 if you want. And then getting a rush to hoop 1 is almost as good as getting a rush to black. Well, he's looking, he's going to be really aggressive and send it to hoop 2. I don't tend to do that. It just puts black and blue too close together if you don't get a rush that's handy. Anyway, let's see how he gets on with this. Just a bit worried he might underhit it with the overnight rain. Looks pretty good. Yeah, got a rush to corner 2. So he'll be able to cut that to black. Very aggressive blue. West of hoop 6. But yeah, make sure this gets off the lawn. Jack's got loads of power, so it shouldn't be an issue. Yeah, good cut. Make sure you hit it hard enough. Keep going. Keep going. Well, it's better there than if it had gone 2 feet further, because it's not in his way of his rush to hoop 1. And he's got quite a nice rush line to take off to get a rush on black. But I do like making sure my partner gets off the lawn with that rush. Then you've got a range of croquet strokes that you can load hoop 2, getting a rush on black. And I'm not going to play the shot Jack's playing. I'm just going to take off from the right hand side of yellow and put all my focus on getting a rush to hoop 1. If he gets a rush to hoop 1 with yellow there and blue there, he will go round. So all the focus should be on getting this rush to hoop 1, and this makes the angle more difficult and the shot more difficult. Lovely close up there of Jack, and he's punished. I thought it was the wrong choice of shot. It's a lot more difficult, and now not only that, but having put blue into the aggressive position, he's left a 7-yarder for Matt. He's in all sorts of trouble here. So completely legitimate to hit black and take off to hoop 1. If you're looking for a defensive option, hitting black, croqueting it towards corner 3, getting past blue, and scattering blue down to corner 1, going off the boundary near yellow is your only defensive option, and it's not easy. I'd just take off to hoop 1 here and put all my eggs in one basket. He's good enough to get in front of 1, run it off the north boundary and hit either blue or yellow. And again, this is pointless. Why do you bother putting black into the lawn? You're basically putting out a pioneer for blue, making the shot more difficult than a takeoff. Stephen should be probably stepping in on both of those occasions. Short. So black's a pioneer at 1. Blue's got a 8-yarder at yellow. You've got no safety options. You know, by playing a takeoff, even a thick takeoff, you could have left maybe black a 3-4 yarder and blue a 8-yarder, and there's a tiny chance Zach might have played. But here, I don't think there's anything you can do to stop blue shooting at yellow. Scattering black looks like the best choice here. You can try and scatter yellow, but that's a lot further away. I think just hitting black really hard half ball, getting black and red both off the lawn. And again, Reg is really, really good at croquet strokes, but going back to that takeoff before to try and get a rush on black, where he played a croquet stroke instead, hasn't got red off the lawn. Not good. I think Reg, despite being really good at the croquet stroke, would still have just focused on getting the rush to hoop 1 with a little takeoff. Because he knows if he makes hoop 1, the other 2 balls are, well, basically they're both quite close to hoop 2, and he is going to get a break. So shot choice is really important. Matt walking on, there's nothing going to persuade him not to take this shot at yellow. He wasn't at his best at the GC, but he was still quite good in patches. And he's a very positive player. I really like that about Matt. Oh, he's missed it. There we go. That's a let-off. So now Stephen needs to hit that, and then I think we'll see a TPO. Not quite sure what they're talking about, because it will be yellow at blue. And yeah, a long takeoff to the black, so he needs to get his pace right, but Stephen's touch is really good. The reason he's been a top class GC player for so long has got very little to do with how straight he hits it. He's just average in that respect, but his touch play is better than all the youngsters. So he's constantly inside your ball. If you've got a 7-foot hoop, he's got a 3-foot hoop in case you miss it. So hopefully he can hit this. Nicely in the middle, good pace as well, nice tempo of swing. One of the tricks I have when I'm shooting at a boundary ball, and we all get nervous shooting at boundary balls, particularly when they're the opponent, is I pretend I'm rushing the boundary ball somewhere. So I pretend I'm rushing it 3 or 4 yards in a straight line, and then your brain is tricked into thinking that the rush is more important than anything. And that's a fantastic touch straight away, 2 yards away from black. So you're not just thinking about, am I hitting it, am I missing it? And then somehow you end up hitting it quarter ball and your brain is disappointed because you haven't actually rushed it. But you've actually hit it, which is the main thing. Stephen needs to make sure hoop 4 isn't in the way here. So he's cut that further south to help him. And he may well choose to play a positive split croquet stroke here, getting black into the lawn to make the TPO easier. Black's going to be the ball he's going to want to peel. So to me, one of the best places for black is 2 yards north of hoop 1. You can run hoop 1, hit black, croquet it to 3, get a rush on red to blue. But he's sending it just to the middle of the lawn. Might make getting the ball to hoop 3 more difficult. And going across that fast patch, and he's judged it beautifully. I'm just struggling from this position to see how black gets to hoop 3 well. I'm sure Stephen's going to want to TPO. It's a tiny bit short. It's gone slightly angled. Is he going to run it on the ground, or is he just going to flip it through in the air? quite difficult. He's lining up as if it's a 45-degree hoop here, so I wouldn't be surprised to see him jump this. It might even be more than 45. It's very difficult. So he's going to jump it. I think that's the right choice. Yep, hands come down the mallet. So he's going to play a genuine jump rather than a sort of flip. No. That's a shame. That's a good opportunity, both those last two turns from the GB pair. This time there is a choice. Zach could play black at red, which is the safest shot available. I'm not sure yellow can run the hoop, so he could play black at blue, but again, Matt's just being positive. He's saying, look, I've got a, what is it, 12-yarder. If I hit this, I expect to finish, and I expect to hit it. So he hit his first one Irish grip. He's now going Solomon for this. Takes all his hard shots Solomon grip, and the gentle ones he plays Irish. In the middle. So ideally he'll roll that back probably to hoop 2 even, but he'll want to get a rush on red south so he can send red to hoop 2 as well. Means he'll be able to get partner ball black to hoop 3. But you might as well put black to hoop 2 just in case you don't get a rush on red. I don't think any hoops are in his way here. Should be coming south of hoop 4. When you're playing on fairly easy pace lawns like this, every time you take croquet you're really expecting to make hoops. Now he hasn't done very well with the blue there, so no rush on red south. He will still want to make hoop 2 off red. Otherwise he'll have to rush black from hoop 2 to hoop 3 to start his TP. So back to Irish for that gentle shot. Looks now as if he is going to make hoop 2 probably off the black. Not ideal, but still something he can cope with. Behind his play a thick takeoff here, moving red 3 or 4 yards further. Let's play the thin one. Just makes the position sending yellow to hoop 3 a bit more difficult. You ideally want both red and yellow at hoop 3, 1 a yard east, 1 a yard west, if you're making hoop 2 off partner. He could Irish this through. That's a good way to get everything back. That's now got everything fully under control again. Wasn't sure when he was hitting the yellow whether it would finish in the jaws of the hoop, and I think he's potentially spotted that it would, whereas I thought it was on the wire. So now the beauty of that Irish peel is he can now go to black and send black to hoop 3 going to yellow. So the peelie goes to 4 back straight away, and this should be fairly routine. Just going to have a quick wander and see what's happening on the other lawns. Let's have a look in front of us on lawn 6. Looks like Debbie has made hoop 2 and has got half a break. got a hoop 3 pioneer about 5 yards away from the hoop and a ball in corner 4. All the other clips look like they're... No, there's a clip on 4-back. I think Samir might be on 4-back. I'll just go and double check. So yeah, just confirming, Samir went to 4-back 5th turn, and Debbie's now got a delayed TP ahead of her. And all I can tell you about the Fisher-Higgins-Morgan-Lawrence game is the British have got the innings. So Matthew already starting to approach hoops a bit closer than Zach did. I just think Matt's really, really good at both codes of the game. He'll certainly be one of the 3 or 4 favourites to win the World Championship in Florida in October. Had 2 finals now. Really probably should have won the last one. 2 games and break up against Robert. And he's lost the blue there. Ideally, you would have wanted to make sure black stayed in peeling position. Yellow's okay at hoop 4. So you either rush it past red and croquet it back into position, or you dribble it off. Now, he can just approach the hoop from where it is, moving it directly behind hoop 3. The problem is red's not great, so I think he'll play the takeoff, nudging black into peeling position again, but I think he'll get a rush on red. Just to make sure that he can approach the hoop, sending red to a better place than directly behind 4-back. And I'm wrong. I don't like red where it is. I would rather have played that to the red. So he won't be able to get a straight rush on red now. That's the problem. So I think he'll go to the right hand side of the hoop as he looks at it and get a rush at red pointing to the peg, that sort of area. Good peel, and black's gone past red, so it's not in the way. So he's got away with that. You're always going to want a rush towards the western side because that's the side that yellow's on. Yeah, done well. That's a nice place to rush it to. You're coming along the rush line, and it's pretty easy pass roll to play. So I'll leave you to watch Matt's standard triple. I've got a few little management jobs that need doing, but I'll be back for the end of this term.
Right, good morning everybody and welcome to Budleigh Salterton Croquet Club for day one of the Solomon Trophy. We're joining a doubles game with Matthew Essick in play. As you can see from the scoreboard,
This is quite long.
about to run 4 back with 1 peel left to do, so won't be too much to talk you through for the moment, but here to help me talk you through it is Ewan Burridge.
Hello. I can't believe the first shot we just had to see was like a 1.5 yard hoop in the middle of a break. I'm not really sure why that was, but what happened? James is sitting next to us. What happened to mean that England have a clip on hoop 2? Well, England do have a clip on hoop 2, but you don't have the score saying that.
So Stephen failed hoop 1, and Matthew rotated it and then peeled it through as he went through the hoop.
So despite having to run a slightly longer hoop than he would have liked, the rest of the break should be pretty tidy now with a good pioneer at Penalt and Black in good position for the peel at Rover.
Yeah. Gonna have to do a straight Rover peel. The attempt before 3 back wasn't really that great, I didn't think.
No, it bounced off the middle of the left-hand wire, but bounced back into quite a handy little spot, so it didn't cause too much trouble.
Do they play best of 3?
Yes, I believe so.
So it looks like probably 1-0 lead for the USA. But on the other lawns, Great Britain are in play on both the other lawns. So Debbie just doing some kind of break and Harry and Gabs having a conversation in the middle of the lawn. So presumably they are playing. Is Debbie playing with Samir?
Yes. So Matthew's put his deeper ball in there with red, you can just see on the left hand side of your screen, and yellow's now going to come just to the side of the hoop in what you'd expect for a normal Rover peel position.
Wow, that's slowed up. I thought it was going way past.
Yeah.
It just stopped.
Don't know if we got any rain overnight, I don't believe so, but the lawns were becoming quite challenging yesterday for the last few matches of the GC. Variable pace on the lawns was really quite fun, but as Ewan's pointed out, that one didn't seem too quick, and lawn 7 is quite a bit slower than 5 and 6.
But to be fair, the bits on 5 and 6 that yesterday were getting a bit shinier, less shiny at the moment, so I wonder if there was a tiny bit of rain overnight. I didn't hear it, but...
So Matthew will probably choose to play this as an Irish peel, sending both balls through, and then he'd expect to be able to hit yellow.
Yep. Should be fairly straightforward. It's close enough that there's not going to be any problem. Yeah, that's the
There we go.
breakthrough. That should be the end of this game.
So I'll just take off to red here, rush it beyond black, and make sure he gets a tidy rush up to the peg.
Mm-hmm.
So I haven't seen any of Zach's play. James, would you be able to update us on presumably just a straightforward break round to fullback?
He did it third turn, so it was a
Okay.
break.
Right, excellent.
Sounds all right then. Only thing that can go wrong is rushing into Rover or the peg.
That's perfectly safe rush out to the left-hand side.
Yeah. Jack and Stephen already encroaching on the lawn, ready to start the second game, so I don't think we're going to be waiting long. Yesterday, the pegs were really floppy. I presume they're in a different place now because the hoops have been moved, but for some reason the peg, if you just touched it, it basically fell over. It was bizarre. Yep, gets both of them in one. Saves the shots. 1-0.
Oh, never mind.
So Stephen and Jack are a new AC doubles pairing. I had the pleasure of playing with Stephen in the last Solomon. I'm sure there's a lot of experience that he can share with Jack, who's an equally capable player physically, but will definitely benefit from Stephen's tactical knowledge of the game.
Yeah. Matthew's realigning the peg for some reason. They're standing in A box. I think we're starting straight away. And updates elsewhere on lawn 5. Stuart Lawrence and Stephen Morgan are standing on the lawn with the innings, thinking about what to do. It looks like to me. And Debbie is just about to make 2 back. It looks like Oppo's. Oh no, it looks like partner's already on 4 back. So, but no peels done.
So Stephen's put in a super shot ball here. Be interesting to see what option the Americans choose to go with.
What would you think?
They might well have a little dribble at it. It's not their comfortable shooting pace. All the American players prefer to shoot quite firmly. Max distance over on the east boundary is a standard option as well.
Mm-hmm.
Or they could go into corner 2 if they think that even if Jack is going to hit in, he's not going to play the roll down to yellow very well. Depends on how you assess your opponent's capability.
At the start of the season, we had some MAC squad coaching, and we spent about an hour, maybe longer, practicing that roll from corner 2 into the middle of the lawn, getting the rush on yellow. Are they playing? Do they have to play standard, or can they play alternate stroke?
I don't know.
I think the question was asked this morning, and Chris said they have to play normal. That's the rules.
Normal.
It's the same as the MAC rules.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to have one person per one ball.
Sure. So it's not going to be a case of. Oh, Zach stops the ball from going in the car park. Now we'll see. Surely Jack's going to go to B-bulk and shoot with that ball.
Yep. Matthew, you'll see, has just put it out of the corner there, so that if Jack were to miss on either side, it should leave Zach a double.
Mm-hmm.
If you put it in the corner and Jack misses on the right-hand side, then you only get a single ball, so it's important to make sure that's just out the corner there.
Yeah. He's off to have a look at the balls. Why is he doing that?
So this boundary was actually a little bit rough earlier in the year, around 7.
There still is a hole or 2, and he's just repairing the boundary board.
Okay.
It's like just in front of, just after hoop 2 on the boundary, isn't it? And it's pretty much on the yard line.
Yeah. So that would be interfering with the
He's
shot.
having a look at it now, actually.
That may have contributed to the Americans' choice to go into corner 2 here, knowing that this patch of ground is possibly the worst area of any lawn in use at the club, actually.
I think so. Restart. You see, if I was going to do that, I would like to back off and start again completely.
He doesn't restalk, he just re-swings.
He'd missed on the left. I don't really know how you do that.
Baffles me a little bit when I play doubles with Jack, and he's very happy to wait for the wind to die down, but he won't restalk. He'll just stand over it, which is fine. It's just not the way that you and I are capable of playing.
Look how far out of the corner blue is.
That's all right.
Surely that's a long way.
It's not too bad. So it looks as though this might even be coming on in contact. So not a massive double for Zach here, but still got 2 balls.
The Americans seem to think that Zach's quite good at hitting things.
Matthew describes him as the best shot in the world, or he certainly has done previously.
Yeah.
I think if you ask Tom, Tom says that Matthew is the best shot, and Matthew then says that it's Zach. So, depends who you ask, but they're all very good shots. And that'll definitely be an advantage for the US team over Great Britain in this test. Their shooting is just a class above.
Oh, you
I might have jinxed that
commentators
one.
and cursed.
Fabulous.
Missed a double. Right then, so Jack is going to... No, he's having a look at the ground. I think you'd have to be pretty unlucky to have the ground take your ball off a double. It would have to take quite a deviation if you actually hit the middle of the double.
So Stephen instructing Jack on what to do. It's a little bit difficult here because I think Zach's missed to the right hand side. Jack has to take croquet here from blue first.
I thought he missed on the left, to be honest, but maybe not.
Quite possibly. Well,
No.
right hand side.
Oh wow. What happens if all three balls are touching on the line?
I think you can set up your cannon if they're all touching, but I'm not sure that black is in contact with red here. So
But blue's not in contact with either. He wants to hit the red. He wants to hit the black. But now they're having a look to see.
is blue not in contact with
I
red?
don't know.
I wasn't sure if they came on in contact. Based on this, it looks like it's not in contact.
But they had I think they like looked across to the US team. So like,
yeah, they've just checked that they're happy they're not in contact.
it looks
They
in
do
contact to
definitely
me.
look in contact, but never mind. Okay, so rotating black first just makes it a lot easier to guarantee this rush on blue
Yeah.
down towards yellow. So you should have very good chances of getting a break going here. Just nudge black out the corner a little bit.
Presumably once he's got his break going, Stephen will retreat to his seat and...
I would have thought so. I think he will trust him to play his full ball break. He probably should trust him to play his pickup, but it's nice to have a bit of
He's gone
reassurance
now.
early on.
He's gone now.
Very much depends on who your doubles partner is. Sometimes they like you to be around all the time. Other players just prefer to be left to play their own version of the game.
When's he going to pick up the black? After hoop 2? Or is he going to leave it after hoop 2?
He should be able to get it potentially before hoop 2.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So this wants to be rushed down to somewhere where he can then send it back as a
Not in a
pioneer
good
to,
place.
and that hasn't gone far enough to do that. But he will at least get a rush on yellow to hoop 1. So he should get going, but he's just made it a little bit more challenging for himself to make hoop 2 here.
Less likely to go to black before hoop 2 now?
I would agree with that assessment. He definitely won't be thinking about that unless he gets forced into playing the roll out of there, which would not be ideal. Oh gosh, a little bit far, but he should be able to cut that back.
It's really not. I mean, the camera angle's doing it justice. If you look at it in real time, it's quite a big reverse cut. This. Debbie's just finishing her break to the peg. Jack's hit that on an okay line, but it's not. It probably would have been perfect if he hit it on the right line.
Well, I think it would have been a little underdone if he'd cut it a bit more. Yeah.
He's going to take off to this hoop now, or is he going to play?
I think he'll play a proper croquet stroke.
I don't know. First break of the day.
Jack's been doing a lot of practice after each day of the GC match for this Solomon Trophy, so that's been really good to see. So he has been making the most of his time down here to familiarise himself with the lawns.
But I think the lawns seem a bit slower based off what we've watched this morning, so hopefully he makes sure he hits this hard enough. He has. It's slightly angled, but it's fine. He'll be a bit disappointed that this is where he's got to after having all the balls in corner 2, but
Yeah, he'd have really liked a half decent pioneer for 2 here.
yeah. And it was one of those shots where you can really basically hit it anywhere on the lawn other than where he hit it. As long as he hit it past the yellow, he was absolutely fine.
You want to be close enough that you can definitely get your rush to 1.
Yeah.
But yeah, it has to go past yellow so that you can send it back up.
How far is he going to hit this?
Well, he's got a little rush, so not too far because he wants space to send it up to 3.
I'm pretty sure he's just put the peg in the way of that.
He's slightly. But the key here is to get your rush on blue and make another hoop, and then you give yourself some more time to dig out black and build the break.
Is this an easy ratio here for a stop shot, or is he going to be struggling to stop the red quick enough?
Possibly struggling slightly. It's a little bit close.
But presumably he'll sacrifice the yellow rather than...
Absolutely. The focus here should be get your rush on blue,
Yeah.
make hoop 2.
Yellow might just come up a bit short, and it's a bit slower over there as well, so... I'm convinced this lawn looks greener than yesterday. It must have rained.
I think it has to have done.
He's sacrificed the red.
That's okay. So we got another cut rush here.
This one's a lot harder.
This is harder.
Yeah, if you want to do this, he needs to hit a 12th of a ball at full power to get this anywhere near the hoop, I reckon.
And you say sacrifice the red, but the yellow
didn't
isn't
really
that
get the
great
yellow
either.
there
So
either.
it's sort of a halfway house on both, and neither's good.
Oh, he's cut it down towards level with the hoop off the boundary. Matthew's walking on the lawn. Oh, that's to get Jack's ball.
That's very kind of him.
I thought it was going to be some controversy or something for a second.
So you can look to take off past black here. I don't know if that corner potentially slides off a little bit, and it does look slightly brown, so that maybe isn't that appealing. He could look to just approach the hoop
I reckon he's going to
immediately
approach
here.
the hoop, and if he doesn't approach the hoop, he'll shoot at the black, and then approach the hoop again.
See, this is an option that I don't look at, but it does give you 2 chances, doesn't it?
It's like Stevens asking him to take off in behind, but it's not really. You leave the blue behind as well, don't you?
That's fine. I'd rather make hoop 2 and carry on. He can always run 2 and hit his 6-yarder back to blue if he wants to do that. But yes, I think I'd be looking to try and come where they're looking at in corner 2. If you don't get it, you can still play an approach from the corner. You'd probably be looking to send black potentially down to 4 on that approach, just so that it's well clear of both blue and yellow. So not an easy approach, but gives you a bit of safety if you don't get it.
I don't really know what's going on here because it looked like Jack was just intending just to roll up to the hoop, and now Stevens come on and trying to convince him to take off into this corner, which he presumably didn't want to do.
So I think it's what I'd be doing or attempting to do. It's definitely what Stephen would prefer to do. It doesn't mean it's the right choice for Jack. Jack doesn't rate his positional play very highly, even though it is really very good. He wouldn't be fancying himself to get in behind black here. So if he's not comfortable with it, he should just take his approach now. And as Ewan says, he can always roquet black and have another go. So if that's the way he'd normally play, he should probably be allowed to carry on with that.
No, he's rolling down to
this
black in the corner. What? How?
Yeah, so this is
Oh,
quite-
I'll tell you what he's doing. He's
quite a
going
lot
to black,
attempt.
putting blue down on the boundary, and then he's going to take off to the hoop.
Is he going to take
Or
off,
is he gonna-
or is
or
he
is he
going to
gonna
play
play
that
like a roll
approach
into the lawn?
that sends black to 4?
That's not very hard. That's not very easy.
Well, that's the one I was talking about earlier, and it gets you your break immediately if you do it like that.
This is pretty difficult.
And it gives you the cover that if you don't get in front, black's a long way away.
But to judge this shot is
But I know it's nasty.
not very easy.
So he's made no attempt to get behind black
It's not
there.
really something you practice either. Would you? I don't think I've ever practiced
I've
that.
played this shot a few times. It crops up occasionally. You have to be in a bit of trouble to be playing it, but we'll see what he chooses to do. As Ewan says, the takeoff is most likely to get him in front, and then he can carry on with his break. But
I reckon take off, run the hoop down to the boundary, hit black, and then
yeah, you're sorted if you do that. But if you don't get in front, you're conceding probably a break to fullback.
Going into the lawn, I feel as though this shot is almost bound to come up short.
I think a lot of his shots have been short so far, so we'll see if he's adjusted yet.
He's in a brown corner, to be fair. He's playing like a, it's not a half row, it's just sort of like a...
Yeah, this ratio should be fine.
Doesn't look like he's hitting it very hard. Oh wow, it's going miles, isn't it?
Oh, it's taken a nice little deflection off the hoop there, I think. So that's
Did it?
quite handy. It looked like it deviated course. I think it just clipped a wire.
I thought it might have just been our screen.
Quite possibly.
Anyway, it's in front, and black is down by hoop 4.
There we
So
go.
just needs to run this, and he's away. GB in play on both lawns. USA just missed the lift, so Samir has a break from 4 back to peg with a ball in the middle of the lawn and a rush to it to finish that game. He's run the hoop. Is he going to try and do anything with his rush on blue here? Or he's just going to hit it?
It's sort of going in the wrong direction, so I think he'll probably just look to hit this, send it as another pioneer down to 4, getting over to yellow. He can rush it a little bit into the lawn if he likes, but I'd probably be happy to play it from near enough hoop 2. Car park looks a little bit busier today than it did for the GC test match.
Yeah, someone just drove up by that silver VW and got very close to it, I thought. Yeah, there's a few people going in, but there's not even a roll-up on at the moment, so I'm not really sure what they're... Because there's nobody actually watching, as far as I can see. Anyway, well, I guess there's more players. Samir's made 4 back, and he's got a rush into the lawn, so I think he should be finishing there.
Excellent news.
Presumably that's just game 1, though. Yeah, it's not going to be game 2 at this time, is it?
So Jack's actually rushed blue down to near enough the south boundary, which is a nice option here. It gives him a good line to send that to 4, getting a rush on black. Back over to yellow. So he slightly overhit that one. It is difficult to adapt to a pace of the lawn that's not the same as what you were playing yesterday. And it is early stages for him in this match, his first break round, so I'm sure we'll see some tidier croquet strokes as he becomes more familiar with the pace at the moment.
6 Americans sitting down at the moment. That's good. Can do it either way, but
I think this is the way it's normally done. Yeah.
blue's not perfect, is it?
No, that was the croquet stroke that he just hit a little bit too hard on both balls.
Samir's just approaching Rover from 1 foot successfully, and blue's by the peg, so that'll be the end of that game when he gets through this. Yeah, he's got a 3-yarder. I think it'll be his 5. It's about 4.5 actually.
It's getting longer.
He's hit it. And Jack's got a rush pointing where? Oh, that took a nice bit of hill, that yellow. It's all round.
It
hill
came
round
round
the
nicely.
back of the hoop.
So that's his
Just
best
rush this off
pioneer
near,
so far.
will he
but-
rush this off near by the cameraman?
Yeah, that's
Or
an
more into
option.
the corner?
I wouldn't have sent it that far, but it shouldn't make too much difference. I think where the cameraman has stood would have been a great place for it.
So it looks like on 5, Harry is having a second break for GB. He's currently made 1 back just then, and Gabs' clip's already on 4 back. But again, it doesn't look like any peels are going to be completed there. USA have a clip on 4 and 2, by the look of it.
Ewan's very much enjoying using the impressive zoom on his new phone to assess all the clips. I've previously tried to do so here with a monocular, and it's a bit of a struggle, so I'll let Ewan do it with his phone.
Jack's made hoop 4 fairly successfully. Okay. Send this blue up to 6.
Yeah, you can do, or you can send it over to 5 and then find a way of sending black to 6. I'd probably prefer to do that. You can rush black over to just south of yellow and then send it up to 6 along a straighter line than sending blue immediately there. But either way is perfectly fine.
Samir just finished up on lawn 6. They're starting their second game again. Do you know if any of these American players have played AC doubles together before? I don't know what their sort of standard pairings are.
So interestingly, America seem more happy than most countries to switch around their pairings. At the Open Shore Shield, they were mixing and matching pairings throughout. They clearly had in mind an optimal pairing for the latter stages of the event, but they were more than happy to try out different combinations. And I think for both America and for GB, this will be a good opportunity to try out some new pairings and see how they work.
You're speaking about getting black out on a straighter line. This is not really a straighter line.
It's straighter than where blue was. It's not any closer, but straighter. Now we'll note here that Jack and Stephen have played their opening with the thought that Jack would be first to play a break. And Stephen will rate his peeling ability higher than Jack's, rightly so. He has more experience in that department. And so where possible, they will be looking for Jack to play the first break round 4 back so that Stephen can be completing the triple. If it were to be the other way round, I don't think that would cause them too much of an issue. Jack's a very capable peeler. He's been practicing his sextuples here over the past couple of days. Not that I think they'll be employing that, but good practice all the
Could he not have
same.
been practicing his triples?
He could have been. So it won't matter which way round they play their first break, but if they ever have an option to do so, I think they'll elect to let Jack play first.
Seems fair enough.
Oh, that's a very nice shot there. Yeah, a lovely shot.
That should be him sorted now, you'd hope. Is he going to be able to find a way to get his early 2-back pioneer?
Yes, I'd be looking to send partner ball straight to 2 back after hoop 5. having a look at where he wants his rush on blue up towards 6.
Mm-hmm. Don't know why. Maybe I misjudged, but I thought that Jack's breaks might be a little bit quicker than this.
I think he's potentially just a little bit nervous, taking some time to settle.
Mm-hmm.
His biggest AC fixture this so far, really, team-wise.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he might be feeling a little bit of pressure and just taking his time to make sure he gets everything right. My first match with Stephen in the Solomon in Sarasota, playing a triple peel, I was horrendously slow over it. Got it done, but I was just so nervous about it that I did take my time. So no issue with Jack taking some care over this first break. So I'd have liked yellow to be a little bit better as an early 2-back pioneer there, but I'm sure he'll cope. That's a nice blue. Now, you've seen more of Jack play AC than I have, Ewan. What's his go-to leave here?
I couldn't tell you.
Okay.
I think he actually tends to mix it up. I mean, I probably saw him play 6 or 7 games at the AC Opens, and it would have been a mixture between a spread and some kind of NSL.
Now, ideally in doubles, you'd want to be asking your partner what leave they want.
Presume, would it be something they've already discussed?
It ought to have been. If not, then Jack should have checked by now, so I think they will have discussed
what you should
it.
have been asking was what's Stephen's standard leave?
Yes.
Do you know the answer to that?
I don't. Part of me thinks that Stephen might have just said to Jack, play whatever leave you're most comfortable with and I'll cope.
What do you think we'll get?
Well, we'll find out very soon.
Is that black ball going there? Give us a slight hint.
Quite possibly, yes.
And will they also be thinking about which person they want to try and force to play?
I don't think so.
No.
In Essick and Watson, I think they consider them both equally capable, really.
Yeah, fair enough.
In terms of shooting ability, there's almost no difference. In terms of break play, you might be inclined to think that Matthew is slightly better.
He doesn't look too happy with that. Why is that? He's definitely doing something with their balls.
This looks like it's definitely an NSL or an MSL, yes. Given he's taking some care over it, it's potentially looking at a Morm standard leave. Yeah.
Disappointed with that because he's got an angled hoop.
Yeah, he wants to be able to run this gently, so it would have been nice to have no angle at all, but that's fine. So just need to find a spot here where blue isn't visible from B-bulk.
I tend to see that this, I suppose it might be because you get more than one chance to do it, but this one's normally fine, and sometimes the ball that's stuck up against hoop 4 is less fine. Do you think that's fair? That's in the jaws.
That is in the jaws. That's fine. Yes, I agree. It's probably normally the ball at 3-back that tends to go wrong. as Ewan says, if you don't get this right, you can always come back and potentially convert it into just a new standard leave, and you're perfectly happy with that.
You take a look under the screen and tell me what Harry Fisher's doing. He's just lining up something. Cross peg, maybe? Checking they are
That
cross
looks
peg.
like a nice little cross peg over on lawn 5 there.
I'm sure you can always see the cross peg, can't you?
You can always see the
Yeah,
cross peg.
exactly. More often than...
Oh well, yes, you can normally see a portion of it.
It doesn't look like he's going to be able to see much of that, to be fair. Black over to 3 back. Would he have liked to have had... Doesn't look like he's sort of playing this with a standard shot, which I would have thought he would want to play it with. He's having to put a bit of
little bit of
roll
roll on it.
Black's going nice, I would say.
Yeah, that's a good shot.
Yeah. Samir's just hit in at the start of game 2. The Americans misapproached hoop 1 and retreated to partner, but he's hit from around hoop 1 into corner 4. Jack's got a rush into the centre of the lawn, is that?
That's fine, you can roll over.
Yeah. Or you could just cut it there.
Yeah, that works too. Handy bit of footwork.
Just needs to be careful here to make sure everything's as easy as possible. Like you can see us on the camera, just behind the lady in the grey hoodie.
Oh, fabulous.
There we are.
How exciting.
What he's not looking to do here? Would you not be looking to have a hoop and roquet, or you don't really care, or?
Don't mind a hoop and roquet. I think that the key is that you get a nice close hoop shot that you can run with good control.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to then have to hit in with your return onto black and knock it out of position.
Yeah. I hope Keith wasn't watching that approach from Jack very well. He did like a little waft at it, and Keith always has a go at me when I have a waft at a short
he
hoop
likes
approach.
you to commit.
And I'm pretty sure that's exactly what Jack just did, and Red didn't get as far as he wanted, and then it's meant he's had to run Red a yard further, and now he's got this rush he was saying he didn't want.
He's played it
That's
well,
all
right?
then.
That pretty much looks like where you want it already, actually. So it'll only need to be moved an inch or so maximum.
Stephen got out of his chair, maybe, to double check things. or
Stephen
not?
stood up, but I think that at this stage he's happy to trust Jack to find the right point for this and complete the break. So he's just checking that it's easily rushable over to 1 and hidden
He's
from
call-
B-Bulk.
he's
Those are
calling
the
Stephen
two
over.
things you want.
He's calling Stephen over, because Stephen's the one that's going to have to look if it's rushable to 1, isn't he? Doesn't matter if Jack thinks it's rushable to 1.
goes a little bit close to the hoop, particularly from our angle. From
But
our
surely you
angle,
can
it-
just play the tiniest little takeoff. But
yeah, I think it just needs to be moved a centimetre north.
not with a takeoff then. Oh yeah, with the takeoff. Oh. No.
You can move it slightly that way as well.
Surely this is yeah, there we go. I was going to say, if he's going to play like that, you literally have to hit it so softly.
Yeah.
You'd maybe risk missing the ball.
Yeah,
There
that's
we go.
fine.
That'll rush to hoop one now.
Splendid.
You just hope that can't be seen from A-Bulk. It doesn't look like it's going to be able to be seen.
No, Stephen stood on the end of A-Bolt. That looks perfectly safe.
Yeah.
Now just find a wide spot from black, which should be pretty big given where it is.
Looks a bit windy out there. Jack's shirt's wobbling. The camera's wobbling a bit.
It was quite windy on day one of the GC test, and I think a few of us struggled with that actually. It was gorgeous yesterday, so hopefully
Too
we'll
hot.
return to some of that sunshine, speed up the lawns again.
That sounded like a failed hoop.
Samir's just had a go at a 2.5 yard hoop 2, bounced off the wire. Red's over at 4, yellow's at 3, blue's just behind 2 on the north boundary, so Tom and Kyle need to hit in here. Jack's got Stephen out again just to give him a spot on the boundary to lay up. Nice to give your doubles partner something to contribute.
How? Black's wide from yellow, according to Samir.
Oh,
Tom's missed. 2 in a row.
so what shot will the Americans be taking over on this lawn then, Ewan?
I think I should be asking you that.
Well, you can answer it and then I'll agree or disagree.
I think they'll take the shortest shot, which is going to be I don't know. I thought they'd be. I would automatically think I would lift the hoop 2 ball and shoot at these balls from A ball. You're going to sound completely wrong.
Not necessarily. Given both clips are on 1, it doesn't really matter which ball they lift unless they decide that one of them is shooting so much better. If they think that one of them is a far better shot, then the better shot should probably play.
Yeah.
But assuming they're happy, they're both equally good at hitting in, I think they'll lift the ball at hoop 4. And given Jack's laid up near enough maximum distance, they might shoot from B bulk. It's slightly shorter from A bulk.
And it's surely going to hill a bit from B bulk.
But whether they know that, I don't know.
Surely they practiced that in the warm up.
You'd have thought so. I haven't seen any of their warm-ups.
The
But
warm-ups
that would be a
yesterday weren't very
standard
long.
shot to practice.
Looks like the hoop 4 ball's getting lifted.
So although lifting the hoop 2 ball looks sensible in terms of moving a pioneer for them,
Yeah.
it would give Stephen an opportunity to near enough build a 4 ball break before even making hoop 1, and that makes his triple a lot easier. So they're going to do what I suggested and shoot down B bulk here. And if they miss, you very much expect Stephen to play his break round, but it just makes it a little bit later in terms of when he can pick up the triple. So they're banking on early stages of the event, just make it testing for him.
Interestingly, this is exactly what I would do, but I just thought they would just take the shortest shot.
I see.
And give themselves a ball that can rush hoop 1.
I think blue does rush to hoop 1 if you need it to.
Not from
you,
the
have, you have to
jaws.
play it through the jaws, but it would rush to 1.
Oh dear, that's not what you want.
Pretty good shot, that.
Maybe he should have lifted blue now. If he knew he was going to rush it down into the corner. He's not going to get much of a rush to hoop 1 now.
He'll give it a go. Okay, so
Matthew's looking at us.
oh,
I think Samir just did something on this lawn, like maybe a really angled hoop or a jump through the hoop or something.
I don't really
And
understand
Matthew
how the
just
balls have
signalled
got into
and
this
said,
position.
Did you see that? And then sort of did like a jumping
Yeah.
thing.
So looks like Zach is after some advice from Matthew here. He can play this as a croquet stroke, sending yellow up to 3 and trying to get a rush on red, either to blue at hoop 2 or straight to 1. So that gives you both options. If you slightly overhit it, you get your rush to 1. Slightly underhit it, you get your rush to hoop 2. Or he can just take off and maximise his chance of getting that rush. But I'd be looking to play this as a croquet stroke, sending yellow up to 3 if he's confident with that. See, this is another example of wanting to know how flat this boundary is. Red's far enough out that you should have space you're not going off, but just for a bit of reassurance, it would be nice to know if it does hill off. So he's gone with the take-off option to maximise the chance of getting a rush. And it's sort of in the middle, actually, of the rush to 2 and the rush to 1, but I think he'll take this straight to 1.
And then you can make your adjustment after that. But it just gets you that way.
And then if you go to let me try that. Yeah.
And then just do all 55 as well in the middle of their lawn and have it zoomed in.
Okay, so backwards take-off to get in front of 1 now. These aren't a lot of fun.
Sometimes something happens on that. It would be too many balls.
Yeah, well, if you know that something's going to happen, you've got, or if someone's pegging out to win a match, then you just go call the preset 55 enter, and you've got zoomed in on the peg C, and it only costs you 5 seconds to run.
So slightly angled hoop here.
Presumably he would have had a couple of hoops of this length in his 3-ball break earlier. Oh, he's run that down.
How far has that gone?
It's like 8 yards, 9 yards.
Okay. Yeah.
But red is the nearest ball. He just needs to hit this and it'll be fine, I guess.
Even if blue were a yard closer than red, I'd still look at hitting red here. It's far better for the break.
Middle.
I think we'll be seeing quite a lot of middling from Zach at this rate.
Yeah, but he didn't. He missed the one at the start of this game, didn't he? Had to double.
He did, but he seemed to be blaming the ground for that, so whether it was his fault or not, we don't know, but can't have been perfectly in the middle that. So red's going up to 3. He's going to ignore yellow for the moment and roll black up to blue here. You need to get this really quite close with blue in the jaws, preferably past the hoop, so that you can rotate it back to the correct side of hoop 2. So it's a big roll.
he got a nice
Looks to have played it nicely.
bit of hop straight away. The black is going to pull up right next to the hoop. He's not going to be able to. He might just be able to hit it and leave it in the jaws.
That would be perfectly fine. This might want an umpire. Just
I'm not
to
convinced
make
he can.
sure you make the way
I think,
okay.
I think he's got a lot of it. I don't think he can get it from the back though. He's got to hit it from the playing side.
Yeah, I'll just pop out to the side. That's fine.
Oh, we did hit it.
Oh gosh, that's where you think you really should have had an umpire.
It did definitely hit it.
Worst case scenario, we at least have a camera team out to double check
Yeah.
it. But
I'm gonna watch an instant replay.
it definitely wasn't convincing. But I think Ewan's right. It did bounce off the wire and roquet blue, so that's fine.
Somehow.
Just watch the action replay.
It doesn't look great.
No. Okay, so he's piecing together his break here. Blue now can go up to hoop 4, and he needs to get south of red to rush that back. And then he'll be able to pick up yellow going to blue before he makes hoop 4, and he should have everything he wants. Don't think he'll look at. We're watching this roquet at hoop 2 again. It's really unconvincing.
It's like but the blue wasn't touching either wire. It doesn't look like black really hits the blue, but the blue moves so much.
Yeah, the blue does move, but it's
how?
bizarre. Anyway, hopefully he'll take that as a lesson and call an umpire next time. So he sent a very good blue down to 4. I didn't actually see if it hit 4 and stayed where it is, or if it just trickled into position there. But black didn't get south of red, so he's got another backwards takeoff here. It's a little bit untidy at the start, but I'm sure he'll put it together and get going if he can make this hoop.
Lengthy again. Gabs is just having a peg out from a long way away. She's hit in the middle.
They did get an umpire out to watch the peg out over there.
It was quite a long way. It was at least 10 yards, I would say.
Okay, very good shot indeed then. So Great Britain take a 1-0 lead over on lawn 5 with Gabrielle and Harry.
And they're getting the first break on lawn 6. Zach's just hit his return roquet.
So you can play this as quite a big roll, sending red to 5 and getting down to yellow. That would be the optimal shot to play. And I think he'll be perfectly happy to give that a go. You want to make sure you're staying well west of yellow here. Don't risk going off this boundary. Even if you give yourself a 4 or 5 yard hit in, that's fine for Zach.
Where's the black off to?
He's played that quite close to the boundary, but
And
it's
red's
very,
gone quite a long way as well.
it's very good black. But red's a little bit far, but he can send yellow as another pioneer to 5 if he wants it. It would have been a little bit of a pass roll that to get red close to 5, so he's played it more as a full roll there. he sent a nice pioneer out to 5 now. That's the advantage of this line of play. If he gets red there, then that's his pioneer sorted, and if he hits it slightly too hard, as he did, he gets another chance to put a better pioneer out with yellow. So it's nearly as tidy as he'd like it now. I don't think he'll look at doing any sort of TPO at this stage. Might have been tempted had he been able to do it as a standard triple, but a delayed TPO is probably unnecessary and too much of a risk. So he'll just play his break to 4 back, hope that Stephen misses the lift, and let Matthew play another triple. That will be the plan. Let's see if he can complete stage 1 and get to 4 back. Here we go, so he'll probably be looking to get blue as an early pioneer to 2 back, as we saw Jack do with yellow. What leave did he make in game 1, James? Do you remember? Zach's leave in game 1. Oh, it was a 3-ball, wasn't it?
3-ball, so he
Was
had
it?
blue and yellow down. It was like a diagonal spread, but without the middle ball.
Okay, right. So this is all starting to look a little bit tidier now. He's getting Matthew on just to check what sort of leave he wants, I presume. This is about the right point to do it. You don't want to leave it too late and then realise it's hard to switch around the polarity of the balls, so best to check now and come up with a plan. Particularly as he's now got everything quite tidy. It's good to begin with to focus on getting a tidy break, and as soon as you have it tidy you can start to plan your leave.
Morning, Aston.
Good morning, Chris. So Chris has come to join me on commentary, substituting in for Ewan Burridge. So I think we'll get some high quality tactical input now.
So I think the fact we've just seen blue go to 2 back there, I thought one of the options was for them to stop at 1 back and let Matt have a TPO and peg 2 balls out and have Zach v Stephen in a 1-ball game. But the fact they've loaded 2 back with blue suggests they're actually going to go all the way to 4 back.
So that's a really interesting option that I hadn't considered. I think it would have been quite the advantage for them to have, purely in that it would have been Zach against Stephen.
Yeah, Zach's fantastic shot.
Yeah. Is that a tactic that Americans use at all?
Yeah, occasionally.
I've seen Fletcher do it.
Yeah, occasionally. Sometimes they leave all 3 balls on. But I thought this was a good matchup, Zach against Stephen, for that 1-ball game. And Matt's probably good enough to get a peel on partner as well. So it could have been 2 back v1. And yeah, with Zach's hitting, I'd have fancied them in that. Obviously, this is what I used to do. I just used to go to 4 back, no TPO generally, and I'd make a MSL with the ball at with the 4 back ball on hoop 4,
so that if they lifted the ball at hoop 2, which is the ball they want to play, I get a standard triple straight away. And I'm thinking that's probably going to be what they're going to do as well. He's putting this ball fairly close. You want yellow to be the ball at hoop 2. And he should just be able to approach the hoop, moving it to the other side.
So if he does get this lead, as you've just talked us through, Chris,
Yeah.
would you expect Stephen still to take the shot?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, play your winning ball and take the shortest shot available.
Yep.
You're playing against Matthew, absolutely top world-class player. Assume if you miss, it's your last shot. So definitely play Stephen's ball and just try and win. So that's almost certainly going to be lifting yellow and playing from the end of A bulk at something on the east boundary.
And do you think that taking the shortest shot applies to all of the players here at this point? Or
No.
will they be forcing some to prove themselves?
No, I mean, there's quite a difference in these doubles partnerships. Essex and Watson is world class. We looked at them in the last MAC. Everyone thought if we can beat, if we can get 1 out of 3 against Essex and Watson, that'll be a good result. And then we'll pick up wins elsewhere. The number 3 pair, Stephen Morgan and Stuart Lawrence, are weaker. And I could definitely justify lifting the ball at hoop 4, i.e. the 4-back ball, and taking a long lift against them. Just try and make it as difficult as possible. But these two I'm going to be really quite aggressive against. I didn't like the choice of lift shot in game 1 with Jack shooting from B bulk. Hit it in the middle and didn't manage to get anywhere near hoop 1.
Okay.
Whereas
that was
if-
before I arrived.
Yeah, if you'd have taken it from A bulk and hit that, he'd have had a nice easy rush, straight forward, easy pickup.
Right, Ewan is
No, I was just saying that's what I said when Zach hit that as well, and then he rushed it down.
excellent. Yes,
the wall as
yeah.
well.
But Zach still managed to get going off of it.
Pick it up. Same leave.
That's the plan, I think, yeah.
Yellow's not. Is yellow in the right place? Yeah.
Yellow's fine there.
Yeah, yellow's okay. On the other 2 lawns, Great Britain have won the first game in both of them. And I think very much the same mental attitude in this test match as the MAC, in that if the Great British pairs can win 1 out of the 3 matches against Essex and Watson, they'll be happy, and they'll be trying to take more of the games off the other pairs, particularly trying to get potentially 3 out of 3 against Morgan and Lawrence. I had the Americans as very slight favourites going into this test match, so it should really be quite competitive.
Was it 12-9 your prediction?
12-9 was my best guess, yeah.
Gab's just hit into corner 2 at the start of their second game, and it held about a foot and it hit the peg. So I don't think they're going to get a double if they miss.
Yeah, both these north boundaries, the one on lawn 6 hills half a ball, and the one on lawn 5 goes 1.5 balls into corner 2. Again, the Americans were checking that in their practice. Really important to know what shots are flat. They're such a good team of shooters. You don't want to hit something at the middle and have it hill off. So red's almost in the perfect place now, but he'll have to hit it and move it back there.
Yep.
Which is the problem with glued to position. That's not right. It's not my ball.
They've got some kind of wrong ball on lawn 6. I think Samir, when he was just finishing his break, played the same ball twice, so they've now got 2 balls.
In contact on the boundary.
Yeah.
It's not the worst time to play a wrong ball, but not ideal.
It will give a free shot. from third corner if they want to take something defensive, or they can just have a double target from A bulk.
Yeah, but they're going to get the actual maximum out of it. They just shot the yellow down the west boundary and missed.
Okay, it is a bit faster down this corner 2 area, so maybe they're hoping for a pace error. Because Debbie's going to have to take off 25 yards across the lawn, or more than that.
And
Zach's
it's going to
got
be
his.
a brown patch, then a green patch, then a brown patch. So it's not a very nice takeoff that.
Yeah, it'll be very slow until it gets to past hoop 1 back, and then it'll be rapid. Zach's managed to get red in a good position.
Yeah, I think he needs to move it a quarter of a ball, which will be easy.
Did it rain overnight, Chris?
Quite significantly, yeah. So these brown patches were 13 plus seconds yesterday afternoon. And yeah, we've had quite heavy rain overnight. But they are still 2 paced. It's just they're more like 11 seconds than 13.
To be fair, we'll probably go back to something similar if the sun comes out at all.
Yeah, by Saturday with a bit of sunshine, we should be okay again.
Lawn 5 looks a lot significantly greener than it did yesterday.
Yeah.
The brown patches are now nearly green. Take off, it looks short to me.
Looks good length to me.
Yeah, it's got off the green.
Oh.
That's nice.
Yeah, nice shot.
I didn't think it was going to get past 1 back.
It looked like it was being pulled up quite a lot, but as soon as it reached 1 back, it was fine.
3.5 yarder at red for Debbie. Meanwhile, Zach just making sure he knows exactly where his partner wants to rush. And normally you have it so you can cut it to hoop 1, but it's not a double from A bulk.
And as Chris has said, Stephen will be looking to take the shorter shot, so Zach is laying up at about maximum distance on the boundary there.
Yeah.
I think this will be the potentially Great Britain's last shot of the game.
If it misses,
It misses.
I think so.
Jack's dashing around the lawn.
Why? Stephen's walked straight to B bulk, but Jack wants to have a look at A bulk. But Stephen's just taking it to B bulk, and they're going from B bulk.
Yeah, I think it's worth looking at this shot from, in front of hoop 1. Is a 2-ball gap in the middle a good target for you? Or do you just want to take this shot? I want to take whatever shot I'm most likely to hit. For me, that's probably yellow at black from A bulk.
I quite like the look of the 1.5 gap. If you come and bring it down to hoop 1, it's probably 2 balls, but it's mallet twisted.
Close.
Oh,
Got
shot.
it. Good shot. And we should win that. That's a really good hit in. We'll be able to rush partner to hoop 1, and the triple will be pretty standard.
It looks like USA have had a leave on lawn 5 that Harry's trying to hit from B bulk. He's hit
he's hit
the
the wrong
inside ball. And he's rushed it miles away. And Debbie's just done a takeoff to hoop 1, but has it gone in the hoop?
No, it's not. It's okay.
She's really not
Just
happy with it.
Oh, it's an angled hoop
It's
shot.
only
Isn't it?
about 35 degrees.
It looked like she was really quite annoyed. Presumably Stephen's going to manage to get a rush to hoop 1, unlike Jack, who managed to have his pointing at.
It's not looking very promising for a
West
hoop 2
penalty
pioneer at the moment.
This is how I would pick it up. I would have tried to have rushed black 2 yards further there, but I would just have black and blue in the middle of the lawn and get an absolute dolly rush to hoop 1.
Okay.
And if I get that, I'm confident I'm winning.
Yeah.
You should be able to get a rush on black to blue. Red will go to 4 back after hoop 1.
Yeah.
And you're just focusing on just playing a sequence of easy shots rather than one slightly difficult one. It's a lovely rush. We'll be able to get a rush over now.
Debbie's failed hoop 1, so that should be a break for USA.
Oh dear. So yeah, you don't need to focus on your hoop 2 pioneer. When you're playing on an easy lawn, The difficult thing is making hoop 1. And if you can do that, red's going to go straight to 4 back, and it's easy to get a rush on blue to black, black to blue.
Yep.
Is that USA's first hoop scored on lawn 6, or did they get any?
No, they got to hoop 3
Right.
in game 1, and hoop 3 is just a little bit tighter than the others.
And it's also on the coolest patch of lawn in the country. Like, if you go anywhere east of the hoop, it's just like lightning.
Yeah, many thanks to the Budleigh Club for listening to Croquet England's requests and turning off the watering beforehand. It's the lawns have been really very nice, and obviously disappointing to get the overnight rain, but the club's done a great job of preparing them.
Yeah.
And that should be okay. You should be able to take off from the right hand side of black and get a rush on blue between black and hoop 6. And no need to do anything clever with the black, just focus on this thin takeoff. If he gets this rush, everything's in a really good position.
Tom has made a mess of his rush to hoop 3, so you said it was a tight hoop. He might be having more trouble there.
Yeah, you don't want to be approaching hoop 3 from
Well,
distance.
his rush was pointing at hoop 2, and it was the wrong side of the hoop. So
There you go, lovely angle to watch Stephen's rush here. Good line.
a very good line. It's
Over-
too hard.
overhit
No,
it.
it pulls up so much. Oh, it doesn't.
That's not
We've
good.
watched we've watched a couple of those shots where we've been like, oh, he's absolutely clubbed it, and then it's just pulled itself up. But no, Tom's made hoop 3, so it should be fine now. That wasn't great, was it, from Stephen?
A little bit overhit.
How far is he going to try and put this? 2 feet? Closer. A bit angled.
Yeah, that's fine, isn't it? You'll be satisfied with that as a shot.
Mm-hmm. I thought he might get his glasses out to find the right line.
Does like to get the glasses out for peeling, so we hopefully we'll see those in a minute.
They're probably in the bag at the moment, though.
And provided he keeps his balance, he's good at these. Yeah, that's good. So when he starts falling forward early and starts walking after them, he sometimes just pokes them into a wire. But now everything ahead of him, standard TP to do. Why has he rushed that there?
It's not very standard.
Doesn't want a hoop 4 pine.
That looks like he's going to put that back to hoop 3. Oh no, he's got enough room, has he?
Maybe.
Yeah, that looks okay, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
He played a big stop shot and left himself a 3-yarder.
Middled it.
Interesting is choosing to put this to the right of the hoop as we look at it. You normally put it on the same side as blue is to hoop 4.
Why would you do that?
It just makes the rush easier after the hoop. You're rushing it down the right line to get on the rush line to blue. The danger there was if he put it across the hoop and under hit it, it would be in his way of his rush. So he's taken a more cautious. That's good.
That's perfect.
Now lots of people here are tempted to peel red and then run the hoop and don't.
And what do they do wrong?
Well,
Yellow doesn't get through?
Correct. Yellow doesn't get through. It might only happen 1 out of 20, but just do what Stephen's doing. Tap red through by 3 inches. I'd have put it much closer to the hoop than that. Now, he's actually run it past it, so that's fine. You can cut it back in front. But this is your standard position, and you've no need to risk peeling it before the hoop, which if you don't hit it dead straight and your ball sticks in the jaws, you've got nowhere to go. It's just dead. So I have seen it done, particularly with people who haven't done hundreds and hundreds of triples like Stephen has. They're so keen to get the peel, they sacrifice the tight break.
Harry and Gabs have got some kind of lead they're just producing where all 4 balls are in the lawn and not really very close to the boundaries. But he did have a look and considered whether yellow and red were wired from each other.
Yeah, I think they will be
It
from
was,
there.
but it was speculative. It was just from a long way away. Well, maybe it is wired.
A nice
Sort of
peel
peel
from
done.
Stephen, and he's got a good rush, so he can rush it to the left-hand side of blue as we look at it. And get on the right rush line. And red's gone quite a long way through 4 back. And if you can finish this, it's not just the fact that they're still in the match. The other doubles pairs will really get a boost out of the fact that we've equalised against the US #1 pair.
Where would you say the percentages are of this being completed now?
This is 90% in my book. For Stephen as well. Stephen's very good. This is absolutely routine.
Let's just hope he doesn't need any of those bisques that we sometimes see in practice.
Yeah, again, that nice still body during the hoop shot.
Yeah.
If he can continue doing that, I can't see him breaking down.
Does it often come towards the end of a turn, or can it just be at any point?
It can be at any point, and it's generally when he's got something a little bit longer,
Yeah.
and he feels he's got to hit it more firmly, and he starts just walking after it.
That was a good rush.
Hasn't got a lot of room. I'd have wanted to rush it off the boundary. Ideally, you'd prefer blue to be south of hoop 6 rather than level with. That's not a great blue. He'll rush red all the way south and croquet it back. That's fine, giving himself loads of room. If he'd have hit his...
He could have done that with blue, is what you were going to say.
Yeah, he could have rushed blue that extra yard further, couldn't he?
It wasn't a power issue.
And he has got the hoops a bit in play of this.
Yeah.
So he's going to have to line it up to miss the hoop 5 by at least 2 feet to avoid risking the red pulling into hoop 5.
USA hit in on lawn 5, so they might be having the first break in that second game. All the clips are on hoop 1 at the moment.
So that shot you mentioned,
It wasn't wide.
it wasn't wide and it was quite short, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
it was only 14 yards, wasn't it? At most.
Okay, so he's quite sensibly put it to the right of 5, and that's fine.
Would he want another yard on red? Another 2 yards?
2, 3 yards on red would be fine. It's not as tight as he would want, but he's got good control here. Stephen uses a very light touch, both hands barely gripping the mallet. It's just very much a fingertip touch for these hoop strokes, and just allows the mallet to come through, coming from his shoulders. Tries to take as much of the wrist action out of it as he can. So send this to 1 back, going to blue, and get a rush on blue back south of red.
Coming to have a look where he wants the yellow.
Do you think that anyone should be considering any higher order peels for any of the matches in this event, Chris?
At the start of a test match, I would always go to 4 back, just try and settle. Against someone who you think is going to TPO you, certainly for Matt, going to 3-back's a legitimate choice. He may decide he's happy to be TPO'd, in which case he'll go to 4-back. I'm probably going to TPO Matt and just hope he doesn't manage to finish off the contact. His play at the GC was quite good, but not at his top level. And I think if I can put more pressure on him rather than just one lift shot, I'd rather do that.
Stephen Morgan didn't make hoop 1. It's quite surprising. Really.
He's bounced off
He
as
had
well.
3 balls near corner 4 to make it with. Gabs is retreating to partner, which is 25 yards away.
Yeah, and Stephen's a lot further away from hoop 6 than he knows he should be.
Just having to play like it's a good shot.
Yellow's for great, and red's just hilled round a bit, so he should be okay.
Does he care about the fact that black's where it is? It looks
Black's
quite a long way from
Black's fine on a lawn this easy. It's fine. Much better there than 2.5 yards in front of the hoop.
Yeah.
I think he'll play this with a genuine stop shot. Try and get it past the peg down to Rover. Doesn't need to play it with a lot of pull. Can aim it so it's just flicking the inside of the left-hand wire, and then the pull should draw it through the middle of the hoop.
He didn't need to get the specs out for his first peel, did he?
He did.
Did he get it out?
Yeah.
He wouldn't have needed to get them out if he was doing it from the jaws, like you said was a possibility.
Are they using new Dawson balls, Chris?
No, they're using same balls as you've used.
Oh,
So
okay.
old Dawsons.
Right.
Have they been like sort of messed around with? Because they're all got writing on them about have they found 4 balls for each lawn that are the same?
Yeah, I
but
think
from
so.
different lawns in the club.
Quite possibly. They're all matched.
Yeah.
Anyway, the sizes of each ball are written on the box, and they know which the biggest ball is.
The red one's the biggest ball on this lawn we're watching. I remember reading the box. Give Jack the biggest ball.
That's a pretty good blue. Nice rush on black. It's all under control. You'll be hoping to get the peel, probably going to 3-back rather than 2-back. Gave that a bit of welly, didn't he?
What was that?
Stevens looking like he's back in play on that.
Yeah, well, he must have hit in. Gabs just took the innings back and left them this shot. Well, maybe he had a double or something, I don't know, but he's hit back in from a long way away.
Now, I do something here that a lot of people don't. So black's going to go to 3-back. So everyone sends black to 3-back. Some people rush red to Rover, and I never really try and do that. I always try and rush red to the west-hand side of blue and croquet it back in front of Rover. I just think it's a more consistent shot. You know it's definitely going to go in the right direction then. Stephen's looking at both angles, looking at the rush to Rover and the rush to, as we looked at the left-hand side of blue.
Keith has tried to persuade me to do it your way. I have a tendency to rush it down to Rover, but
Yeah.
He tries to convince me to do it that way as well. Maybe it might be the right way.
it might be.
He's ended up with yellow in sort of halfway
good,
house,
yeah.
hasn't he? And from here, I'm definitely rushing it to a position I can croquet it back, even if that's just hitting it in an almost straight line past 2-back, or level with 2-back. Let's see what he does. And he's gone for rushing it in front. He's played quite a good
Played it
shot.
well.
He could even have a go at peeling that if he wanted to.
This is why I quite like rushing it straight to Rover.
I like just taking off here.
Tom's just finished his break making a diagonal spread that looks alright, and Stephen Morgan's made hoop 1. So, slightly more US play than there was half an hour ago.
And again, going back to Stephen's decision not to peel, the experienced peeler will know that from this position, he's almost guaranteed to, at worst, jaws the over peel going to 3-back. Whereas if he tries it from, 4 or 5 feet away with a lot of pull, that's
Could go anywhere.
could go anywhere, exactly, yeah. So he'll be confident he can get a rush on it closer to Rover from here. And Black's a good pioneer at 3-back to roll peel going to. Just needs to float past the red, miss it by a couple of balls. Really good shot. Blue fraction, no, it's good. It's maybe a yard too far, but it's
Level with the
okay.
hoop, isn't it?
Yeah, it's fine. And that's a much easier position to peel from than where it was before 2-back. And ideally you want this to peel by far enough that you can get a rush on it up to 4-back where that blue is level with the hoop.
Specs are out.
Again, this type of shot doesn't get a lot of peel. You can just line it up to miss the inside of the right wire. And that's nicely through. You can come back to that, rush it up after 3-back to the east boundary and approach blue on a good rush line.
Debbie's elected to take the short lift from their game. She's shooting at it now. Will that be to do with the position of the black?
Not really. I think she's just taking the shot she fancies.
Nope.
No.
Missed on the wrong side of whatever target it was. Wasn't really a target, was it? Why would you not shoot at the ball on the boundary there, Chris? It's like a quarter of a yard longer.
It's partly due to, if you shoot at the ball on the boundary, they can immediately move it out into the lawn while holding for rush to yellow. Now, if red hits blue, it's got to go back 2.5 yards to get the rush. She might not get quite as good a rush.
Makes sense.
It also has a, if you're intending a TPO, hitting the in-lawn ball makes it easier to TPO as well, because you don't have it at hoop 2. So Stephen's done well. He's made 3-back, rush back, send black all the way up to Penult and get a rush on this red.
I can't cope with the fact that he's taken his jumper off in the middle of the turn. It's completely changed how the mallet will swing by taking his jumper off, but his shirt looks quite big for him.
And again, he hasn't got a good Penult pioneer, so he'll send red there as a second pioneer, and much easier to get to blue from that east boundary than anywhere else. So, for people who haven't been to Budleigh, on the right-hand side behind the behind the shelter with 7, that's lawn 8. And then over on the north boundary side, if we get that camera angle, you've got lawns 9 and 10. So you've got 11 lawns here.
And a little small one.
And a practice area as well, yeah. So that's a nice shot.
Should be good to go now, you'd hope.
And certainly the players taking full advantage of the overnight rain, which has made these lawns a lot easier.
Do they bring the hoops in at night, or do they leave them out?
They've taken them in, so there will be water penetration in the hoop holes as well. I think that was the plan anyway. They normally leave the hoops out,
Right.
but they were definitely setting them again this morning.
Stephen's put 4 balls through hoop 3 in this break. seems like that won't happen very often in croquet. Kyle's had to do this takeoff. Interesting, and that's not pointing anywhere near who won. Is he not for who won?
No, you can play it
Where
to
is
black.
But there's no clip. Where's the red clip? Maybe he's already made hoop 1 and he's now for hoop 2.
So very high quality second game here. Jack had a ball to 4 back. Zach hit the lift, went to 4 back, and Stephen hit the lift and finished. And again, that's going to play into the minds of should they be TPOing?
It never looked like it really crossed their minds. It might have been something they decided on last night that they weren't going to bother with, but
Yep.
I didn't see them have a discussion about it.
Always much happier TPOing in a game of doubles than singles. People don't get into the same type of rhythm. So Rob and myself would TPO a reasonable, quite a lot in doubles, and I would virtually never TPO in singles, just the odd occasion where I did. That's not quite as straight as it should be. Again, got 2 balls to run it to. If he's able to hit that shot quite a bit harder, because he knows if he runs by 5 yards, he's still got black there. But 17 TP to equalise that. They may well take lunch now. We'll have a quick break.
Thank you.
Use some alternative commentators if they do take lunch. But yes, thank you very much for listening, and I do hope that everyone enjoys the rest of the Solomon Trophy.